Are you ready for what's next? This decision has been a long time coming. Over the last few weeks, we've been slowly packing up, wrapping up orders, and saying goodbye to this space. After a successful holiday season, we knew it was time to move on. While this warehouse holds so many memories, long nights, big wins, and lessons learned, there's a deep peace in knowing that this is the right step for this season. Transitions like these can feel bittersweet, but they also make room for something new. Keep watching as we spend our final day here, reflect on the journey, and answer some of your questions before handing over the keys. Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to another vlog on this YouTube channel. It's been a while. 2025 has had a very, I want to say, intentional, restful start. And a lot of changes have been happening actually. After the busy holiday season, we took a month off in January. And then before actually getting back into things, we started to make moves on a lot of decisions that we have been thinking and planning about for a very long time, and it's all finally happening. So today we are actually on our way for the very last time to our warehouse, which feels really weird to say. Hi everyone, this is Tim.
Hello.
Really weird to say because we've been here for a good 3 years now. It's been a very long time in this warehouse. We had so many ups and downs, so many lessons that we learned, and just it's been a journey for sure, in a place where our business really grew in a way that we didn't think was possible for us. And I'm just thankful and grateful for the journey, but I'm also ready for what is next. So ultimately, we decided not to renew our lease in this space. We actually have intentions of scaling down, and I'll talk more about that later on in this video or in another time. But basically, we are ready to start other projects and just almost free ourselves up of the burden of having this huge overhead, which has been insane. And yeah, so we're on our way to the warehouse for the very last time. Today we're saying goodbye to 1938 North Batavia. It's almost completely empty. All right, so we are here, and the warehouse is pretty much empty already. We've been moving out over the past few weeks. Today is our final day. We're just gonna clean up, make sure everything looks good, and hand over the keys to management, which just feels so weird. But I'm excited, I'm thankful. I thought it was gonna be sad, but I'm not. I'm actually very okay with this decision, and maybe I'll cry later, I don't know, but this was our home for the last 3 years, and now we are saying goodbye. I'm probably gonna say that a lot today. Yeah. That's it.
That's it. It's not so scary anymore.
All right, so we just finished doing some cleaning at the warehouse. Pretty much today was just for spot checking, checking all the walls, checking the floors, making sure everything is in mint condition before our handover this afternoon. So yeah, we finished that pretty early in the morning. Now we're here at the park just to relax a little bit. We're hanging out in the car just because we're really tired. And then maybe we'll go for a walk or something before we go grab some lunch and then meet management again this afternoon. So yeah, this day has been a mix of emotions, I think. I think mostly we are happy and we are content. We are very at peace, but of course there's moments of, I wouldn't say sadness, more like nostalgia. Like when we look at everything, it's just kind of hard to believe that this was our space for such a long time and now we're letting it go and it's no longer going to be a part of our lives. So there's definitely some nostalgia there, but we are not sad. We are definitely happy. We are thankful. We are at peace, and we just know that whatever is next is going to be just as exciting. So we're ready for that. So that's our little update for now.
Before we get lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, a squirrel right there. You won't be seeing me here around that much anymore. This is the last day at the warehouse, and I used to come here 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, God.
So I'm gonna cry. They all know me here. Every time I come in, they always wave at me, and they're like, "Hey." All right, we are back. I hate this key. All right.
That's fine. Officially all empty. All right, so we had lunch. We went home for a little while to take a break, and now we are back. And the warehouse is completely empty. This is the front office here. We're just double checking everything, last minute paint touch ups. But yeah, we figured we'd give you guys an empty warehouse tour now that we're leaving. We never did a warehouse tour video, so. This was the space. Overall, the warehouse is 2,500 square feet, so it's a pretty good space. This was the front office. Here we are going into the hallway. We had a small sink. We called it our kitchenette area. I had like a fridge here. We had a shelf. And then here we have our downstairs bathroom. Everything in this space was honestly just gorgeous. We were so happy here. Okay. You don't need to see all that. And of course, our favorite space, the warehouse. All empty now. I love those sky roof windows. The big roll-up door. And you're able to see upstairs through that window. So let me show you what that looks like. So this is obviously where all of production got done. We had our large shelves, our laser machines were here. In the first half of our journey in this space, we had more shelves over there, production tables. But sometime last year we subleased part of the warehouse to our friends who owned a clothing company. So they were using half the space, we were using the other half of the space. Fun times here. Now I'll show you the upstairs space. Hi guys. So this is the upstairs area. I remember when we first came in here, like the first impression was just this view was everything. You get to see the warehouse. Second upstairs bathroom. And last but not least, our upstairs office area.
This is what sold us, I remember.
Yeah, when we first came here, this is what made us say, let's sign the lease.
Yeah. This was much nicer because they were all the same color, and then one day we see that it broke and they had to replace it, and they put this color instead.
Why?
So it kind of messed up. We used to do content here, and it was a all nice one color.
Like cohesive and
then they put this one in, which is a more
like a blue tint.
And yeah, that's how it looks.
But it's okay. We work with what we have. Yeah. So this was my home for the majority of our time here. We had my desk set up. We had like almost like a living room set up, like a lounge area. We had our table, some shelves for shipping and packaging, and a content area where we just took all of our photos, did all of our videos. I think of all the spaces in this space, this is the space I'm gonna miss the most.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we're done, we figured we could do a small Q&A. I posted up a question box on my stories, and we have a few questions about the process, our journey, what it was like to lease a warehouse. So, you ready to chat? Does this feel like an interrogation?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Okay. So, do you want to ask the first question, or should I ask the first question?
I'll ask the first question.
All right. So, here are some of the ones we have.
Okay. For the first question is, what has been the process mentally to make the decision of taking this new step?
Whew. Okay, that was a very loaded question to start with. But I think this has honestly been in our hearts for a very long time.
For about a year. For about a year now, yeah.
Yeah, for about a year. So we got the space 3 years ago, 2022.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, 2022. And it was awesome at first. It was really amazing. But somewhere along the lines, we just realized, well, I guess it's kind of complicated because of our history. Initially, we came into this space because we needed to find a space because we were having trouble with the city at home. Mm-hmm. So it's not really something that we were like
looking for.
Looking for. It wasn't something that we were like, okay, we want a big warehouse space and we want to grow our business this way. It really wasn't like that. So we kind of just were faced with the decision to grow and expand. And since we took the step, then we did take all those steps in order to try to make the brand grow, which it really did. It really, really did. And that's all, again, always giving the glory to God, because He has provided every step of the way. But at the same time, I was just coming out of a very difficult health season in my life, and I wasn't really fully at my best yet. But somehow we made it work. And I think it was when we moved into the space that you started struggling.
About a year and a half into it.
A year and a half into it, yeah. He started struggling with his health a lot. Same, almost similar to mine, with a lot of stomach issues, and just he lost a drastic amount of weight.
Yeah.
It was a very scary time in our lives.
I lost 120 pounds
120 pounds. We were,
within a few months.
so to say we were stressed would be an understatement.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one thing when you're stressed about life responsibilities, but it's a completely other thing when you're stressed about your life and whether you're going to survive. And on top of that, try to meet all of life's responsibilities. It was just a very heavy season in our life. All of that to come back to the fact that while we love this business and we have always known and seen the potential of it, part of us started to realize that we've been doing this for a very long time. We started in 2015, and it's been a lot of years of labor-intensive work.
Yeah, it has.
So now that we were faced with these health issues, we realized, do we really want to be doing this for the rest of our lives? Can we keep that up? Is it sustainable in the long term? So to be completely honest, about a year ago, I was fully checked out already. Tim can attest to this. I was completely checked out. I went from being someone who promoted the business all of the time and always launching new products, always just going above and beyond to grow the business, to just not wanting to do it anymore. And at the time, I guess I was experiencing some anger and resentment, towards the lifestyle that we created for ourselves, which makes absolutely no sense. But it was just from a place of feeling desperate about what we were going through. And I felt stuck in the business. So we started having these conversations about stopping. Yeah. I wanted to quit completely. And we just had to pray about it a lot. We had to talk to God about it and just talk to each other and just being really honest. And we, as the deadline was approaching, so we set a deadline for ourselves. Okay, our lease is going to be over. What are we going to do? As the time approached, it was actually getting harder for me because he got better. I was getting better. Mm-hmm. And I started saying, well, maybe we don't have to stop. Yeah. Maybe we can keep going. Maybe it was just the season that we were in and we were feeling that way because of everything that happened. But the more I try to get back into it, it just wasn't. How would you explain that?
Like you weren't feeling it anymore, I guess?
Yeah, like I just wasn't feeling that fulfillment anymore. So ultimately, this is where we landed, that we were ready to explore. So that's what we've been doing for the past year, while still being in this space, while still running Dear Heart Signs. We started exploring other facets of our creativity. Tim with his photography, learning video, all these things. Myself with learning like how to develop websites, branding, marketing, many other things that we weren't really like, okay, this is what we're gonna do next, but we were exploring other facets of our creativity so that we can maybe see if there's something else that piqued our interest and that we would navigate towards too. Okay, so it's a really long question, but that was the process mentally. And finally, now that we're here, I think we're very at peace. Are you at peace?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Tim is ready. We're completely at peace. And the future of Dear Heart Signs is still uncertain. Yeah, it's to be determined.
Yeah.
We aren't stopping fully, but we're changing a lot of things. And our production model is going to look different moving forward. We are scaling down a lot. And all of this is with the goal to make room for other projects that we have in the works. So that was the process. And thankfully, we've arrived.
Yeah.
We're happy.
The day is finally here. Sorry. The day is finally here. Yeah. It's time to move on.
It's time to move on.
Yeah.
It
In a
was
good
fun.
way.
In a good way. All right. Okay, so what was your favorite part about having a warehouse?
Honestly, it was just another place to get away from, to get out of the house, to be honest. Yeah. And then not having to be bothered by the neighbors. How you mentioned earlier, we're having problems with the city. And here, we can literally be here all day, all night.
That was
No one bugs us. I mean, we can't be too loud or crazy because, you know, we would get complaints. But, yeah, just getting out of the house, not having anybody tell us, like, hey, noise complaint. Like, it's a warehouse, you know. You can make noise. Obviously, don't be all crazy, but, yeah, that was it.
All right, so what's one thing you'll miss the most about this space?
I think my answer is going to be the same as the reason why I like having a warehouse is we're able to get out of the house, you know? And I feel like now that since we've been like transitioning from taking our stuff back home and now we don't really have a place to go, it feels like we're stuck again at home, you know, again. So that's the one thing I'm going to miss, just to be able to go out, get out of the house, not be stuck. It felt a little bit of like a getaway, basically, even though we were coming to work, but it still felt nice. You know, it felt like another place to call home.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun because we were able to decorate it, make it look nice and stuff. So, yeah. So I'll ask you the same. What's the one thing you miss about this space?
It's so pretty. I think we were really spoiled for our first commercial space. This spot is just gorgeous, so I'm going to miss it.
It was just remodeled?
Yeah, it was just remodeled when we got here. I'm going to miss the upstairs space a lot. I think if I could go back and do things differently, I would have taken more advantage of the upstairs space. But I was sick at the time, so
Yeah,
it's
I know.
okay. All things happen for a reason, and we just, you know,
We're grateful we made
we
it this
grow. We grow, yeah, we made it this far. We got through this, and who knows, with whatever is next may be even better. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to miss the most about this space, and just being able to, like, have friends over here, you know, like having clients come in. Yeah, as Tim said, I am kind of going crazy right now at the house. It is a weird thing to transition back into, but I know it's only temporary.
It is.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Go through the nitty-gritty, please, for the peeps that don't know process of leasing biz. Yeah,
Go through the nitty gritty, please, for the peeps that don't know the process of leasing a bit. Of leasing a commercial space. Okay, so we had the privilege of working with Loni, who is super amazing. She's a realtor, and when we first got the notification from the city that maybe we should consider looking for a space in order to avoid fines, I can't tell that story without feeling like I'm gossiping. Why does it feel like that?
Because
Drama.
we're Mexican.
We're Mexican? Oh gosh. Anyways, okay, so the city, right? We had a city official, and he was like, "Hey, you guys, people keep making complaints, and we're gonna have to do these tests and these things, and all of this costs money, and you're gonna be fine with it. So, you guys are doing great, but I recommend that you guys maybe start looking for a warehouse space." So we're like, okay, well, let's start looking. Let's see what happens. And originally, our budget was a lot less. Our desired
lot less.
square footage was a lot less. We wanted a small space where we could just go put our lasers and cut. So I reached out to Loni, right? I was like, okay, hey, we need to find a space and we need to find it ASAP. Can you help me? So what she did is that she started looking for spots that met our criteria, and she sent it over to us. So then we could review everything, see the pros and cons, make visits if necessary, and just, choose from there, I guess. So a lot of the spots that she was sending us were really expensive and really ugly.
It wasn't her fault.
It wasn't her fault. No, it was not her fault. That's not
She
what I'm
was just
saying.
looking for places that matched for what we wanted.
What we needed to do, because we are doing laser cutting. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of warehouse spaces sometimes look very run down, but the asking price is just crazy, because especially since we're here in Orange County. And so we did find a few spots, right, that met our criteria. And she did the basically the communication part of it. So this is something that you can definitely do on your own if you need to. Just get in contact with the agent that is listing the location and have, the visits or whatever. But going with the realtor is definitely an experience that I recommend, because when we finally did find this space, so let me backtrack a little. We found some spots. We inquired, and they all kept saying no.
No.
So these were all places that were within our budget, that were smaller, even though a little rundown, but we're like, okay, well, it works for what we need. They were all saying no to us. So we started getting worried, because we're like, okay, well, what are we going to do if we can't work? It doesn't make sense. And we know other people with laser businesses who have warehouses, so why aren't we finding a space? And then we found this space on loopnet.com, I think it was. And it is advertised as an office park. So we're like, maybe not, but they have warehouses. So I asked Loni, and she inquired, and she did all the communication. She told them what we were doing, and they said yes, finally.
Yes.
But it is bigger
And more expensive.
and more expensive. And at that point, we were like, well,
What else? We have no option.
and we prayed hard about it.
We have no choice but to take it.
We were like, Lord, if this is the door that you are opening, then we're going to go ahead and take it and just trust you and work our butts off. So the reason I recommend a realtor is because she took care of the whole lease, the negotiations, the lease. She reviewed everything before I signed it, so then I was able to review it, and she explained to me, these are the terms, this is what they're asking, blah, 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 all the back and forth with management. Yeah. And then we signed the lease. So I just felt like I had someone with experience on my side. And at the same time, it's cool because she gets a commission, from the property. So we don't have to pay for it. Yeah. They paid for it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the process. If you have someone that that is a realtor, consider asking them, and you're thinking about getting a warehouse, that's the process that I would take.
Yeah, definitely.
The other option is for you to just do things yourself, negotiate directly with the landlord or owner of the building, and just make sure that the contract is solid and you understand what you're getting yourself into. And yeah, that was the nitty gritty of our getting this warehouse space.
Did the warehouse change how you ran D Hard Signs? If so, how?
Did the warehouse change how I ran Dear Heart Signs? I think yes and no. I think before we came into the warehouse space, Tim and I actually had just recently gone through an overhaul of how we worked as partners in the business. We went from just doing things as they came in to structuring our production and, just our organization as a business. But we did see some challenges before we came into this space about almost feeling like it was impossible to expand our team because it just didn't make sense to bring people into our house. That was kind of weird. So the biggest change that came with the warehouse space for us was being able to expand our team, which then led us to become even more refined in our structure with production, operations, and even financials, because we kind of had to be more mindful of how much we were spending each month and how much we were bringing in. That was one of the biggest changes. Before, it was kind of like, well, whatever we made, that's what we made. And, this works for us. This is good enough for us. We're okay with making this much money a month. But once we were here, we had to operate as a business in order to maintain the overhead costs and in order to have a team, keep that team, and yeah. So definitely changing. It changed a lot of stuff. It made us grow up as a business.
Yeah.
All right, so final questions. So we can wrap up this Q&A. Because Tim is tired. He's ready to say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of here.
What was your favorite memory in this space?
My favorite memory, I think, is all the time that we spent here together. Especially in the beginning, when we first moved in. We were still kind of overwhelmed about the idea of we're owning our own warehouse now. I remember in the beginning, when we first moved in, all we had was a small little dining table and 2 little chairs. And we would just sit in the corner, just work on our laptops. I mean, we had our laser machine, so I would go back there, put something to cut, and then come back in here. It was empty. Yeah. Just all those times that we spent here, when our health was okay, we would stay late until 10 o'clock. That felt pretty cool too. And then another one would be once, we had our tenants move in. Since they were friends, we would play around a lot in the back, Obviously we would work, but we would mess around a lot, tell jokes, listen to worship music all the time. I miss that too, just blasting my worship music while I'm working. And then yeah, like how I said, just spending time with you here all those days. When it was just us, that was really nice too. But it was really nice when we had 10 tenants, and it helped with the rent, so that was really cool too. Yeah, that was my friend. What about you?
I think the biggest memory that always sticks to my brain and makes me want to cry is when we first got the keys. When we first got the keys and we came, I'm crying. I wasn't gonna cry. I said I wasn't gonna cry all video.
That was a lot.
Okay, chill, Naomi, chill. Cálmate. But that's still forever my favorite memory because, like Tim said, it was just crazy. We never thought that, we didn't even think about it. And I don't know if it was because we didn't think it was a possibility for us or because we even wanted it, but wow, just the fact that we were trusted with the building, and we got the chance to work here and just, yeah, that moment will be forever like dear to my heart. Getting the keys, driving up in the back, and then opening the door and the roll-up door for the very first time. That was really amazing, and all the moments with you here too. The holiday seasons have been my favorite for me because we had a full house. The holiday season is when we hire team members. So
family, but
and friends. When we had the marketing team as well, that was a really fun time, and just being able to grow. And I think the biggest lesson for me has been that I don't have to feel stuck in things anymore. And I think I did here for a very long time because of the pressure to keep it up. But now I feel free to know that I can change direction and that's totally okay. So, yeah, I think it just has made me more brave to take the steps that I want to take, not the ones that I feel I have to take. And when we got our friends subleasing the space, that was kind of like a lesson of that, of like, hey, we don't want to be here all the time anymore, but we also don't want this big financial responsibility on us. So let's get some help and let's get people in here. Mm-hmm. And it just really brought the warehouse to life. Mm-hmm. So being able to work with friends was really, really a fun experience. And it made us almost like love our business again.
Yeah, it did.
So that was fun. What was your biggest lesson?
I didn't have one.
Tim always just goes with the flow. He's good all the time. He's that voice in your head that tells you everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. I'm the one that stresses out.
Keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Are you ready for what's next?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Time to say goodbye.
Show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love. Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall onto the ground. But I know you will turn it around. Oh, this is all we got.